Hello trainers, welcome to another episode of Pokemon Go Battle. So today we have a team here, Tail Groudon with double steel in the back. This team for this past week has gotten me to expert rank. You're going to see that today in these battle simulations that we've gone through during our stream. But without a doubt, we're going to jump into these battles. I'm going to commentate and just see how things go. So prior to this team, which wasn't really much of a moderation, but the team I was trying to use to give me that push to legend or to expert, we like to go to legend, but to expert, was a Ho-Oh lead with 2 steals in the back. You know, considering with the amount of Pokemon that I've been up against, it seems like Melmetal has been almost like a mandatory pick for me personally, and I wanted to see what I can possibly work around with Melmetal. And for a while I was going with Dialga, sometimes as the lead, but figured it was better as the switch, or at least in the back. And then I was using Ho-Oh in the beginning just to see how I can use Ho, you know, with the flying and the EQ. So I was having some issues. Sometimes I was getting consistent 2-3, 3-2, sometimes a 4-1. But then I switched into Tail Groudon, and it has been giving me consistent wins at least, especially with the teams that I've been facing up against. So a lot of players that have come onto the stream, a couple of them were asking me why not use maybe a Garchomp, Tail, or any other Tail users in the lead. And I figured that Groudon being a single type user and having Earthquake and Fire Punch, it has a little bit of balance and leeway when it comes to other opponents' Pokemon that may be resisted for Groudon. So Groudon for me personally, if it's up against a Pokemon that's somewhat hard countered or countered to the Groudon, I can at least chip it in some way where I'm not really losing out in a situation where it's kind of like an RPS kind of a battle. So, and on top of that, Tail chips in most situations against the Dragon users or anything else that may just have that nice chunk of damage coming from that Tail. So in most situations, Tail in combination with Fire Punch is mostly what you need, and EQ is just to, when you build up that energy, it's just there to bait for a shield or for have that nuke move at the end if you have enough health on that Groudon, if we preserve it. So jumping into the battles, I think one already went by. We have a Lugia lead, so I switch into Dialga, and I wanted to just get ahead on energy here. Now, they're not switching out, which is kind of an interesting situation, and they actually shielded here because they were thinking maybe I was going to go with the Draco Meteor, and they actually baited with the Sky Attack, which is crazy because usually, I want to say like 8 times out of 10, they'll go straight Aerial Blast because that's the harder hitting move. So they let go of their Dialga, which they just wanted to completely farm down with their Lugia, which is not good in their situation because we have double steel in the back. So here we are. I'm going to go with our Melmetal. We can tank a Aerial Blast, but again, they went Sky Attack, so maybe they have Hydro Pump in this situation. I don't know. But we just start spamming away with the Rock Slides, and then they have a Kyogre in the back. So this game is not completely over yet. We want to spam away with these Rock Slides, and we need basically 3 to knock out this Kyogre. In this case here, I think they're going to probably shield. Yep, they do. And then we bring in our Groudon, because I know Melmetal can win the situation, or at least spam those moves a lot quicker than the Groudon. But at least here, Groudon can take on one Surf, and we can chip away with the Tail and the Fire Punches. So we could have shielded there and probably actually farmed down and win, but just wanted to be really safe and just use it on Melmetal. So the opponent found out the situation wasn't going to work out for them, so they concealed the match there, and then we're going to move on to the next battle. So Giratina, so this is kind of an interesting battle. I've come to find out, I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but it seems like you can pretty much shield the first attack if you want to. I really like to, but sometimes they usually bait, and that's not a good situation to utilize your shields. So you can pretty much, and hypothetically speaking, you can Tail shield a Shadow Ball and then farm all the way down before they get to another Shadow Ball, and usually we can survive whatever move that they throw at us, which is a good thing to know. So in this situation here, they bring in their Groudon. There's not much our Melmetal can do. I was trying to see if I can stall the clock out a little bit and switch into our Groudon again just to save our Melmetal, But in this situation, they got to another Fire Punch, and I didn't want to lose out on 2 shields. So in this case, I just let go of our Melmetal, and then they have a Dialga in the back. So this is, again, a very close situation. Both our Dialgas are 100%, and they are best buddy. So we shielded there, and then we're just going to farm all the way down. And then I was able to sneak in the first Iron Head without having them throw a Dragon Tail or a Mud Shot, and then we switch into our own Groudon and then just farm all the way down and we win that match, knowing that they don't have enough energy for a Fire Punch. So just in case if our Groudon goes down, our Dialga can come back with an Iron Head. I don't remember if we went CMB tie or not. I kind of forgot, but at least I was considering just the farm down for the win, and we won that match. So here we go, going on to our next battle. Another Giratina as the lead. So again, Dragon Tail is just so useful in this situation instead of the Mud Shots. As you can see, we snuck in an extra Dragon Tail, and then they're going to go straight into a Shadow Ball. So here, I'm just going to save the energy. I'm going to jump right into Melmetal, knowing that we can tank a Shadow Ball, and they baited there in that situation, or at least they were trying to get the boost. And in this case here, I'm just going to spam out with the Rock Slides and try to see if I can get to one. And I keep forgetting, it's funny when I play with this team, it's good to have a 15 stat Melmetal, because we can, I think, win CMP tie against a 15 Giratina Origin, or I don't remember if it's 100% one. We can also win it too, but it just losing to that CMP tie always annoys me, because I don't want to lose out on that energy that we could have saved for later. So they bring in a Snorlax, which is very interesting. Some situations they'll have Superpower, in other situations they'll have Earthquake. In this case, they have an Earthquake. I was banking that they had Superpower, not gonna lie. And then we go with a Iron Head here, just to chip away. Should have gone with Draco, but I think I was wanting to farm down with Groudon, and I made the mistake that they're gonna have a Body Slam, and then they have a Melmetal in the back, and this is pretty much a loss on our side. So they shields just right, and a Superpower or even a Rock Slide would just be enough to knock us out. So GG's with that match right there. So moving on to the next battle. But like I said, having that Dragon Tail as the fast move chips away a lot with the Giratinas, Dragon users like Dragonite, which we don't really see too much. Dialgas, we usually chips pretty well, even though we prefer the Mud Shots. Here we go, a Groudon situation. So I'm trying to see. Okay, so they also have Dragon Tail as their fast move. We're not going to win this situation because they have 100%, or if it's Best Buddy. I think it's maybe Best Buddy. So we're going to go straight Fire Punch here. Gladly we brought up the EQ and shielding that, and then we both immediately switch into our switched Pokemon, which we went to our Dialga and they went to a Kyogre. So this is looking really good for us in this situation. Ooh, excuse me. And then we just go on with an Iron Head here. They just pretty much want to knock us out. So I let go of this move here. We can survive this last Surf. I don't want to get as much energy for the Groudon if they bring it back in. We do have energy for the Iron Head, which is perfect here. I want to see if I can pressure shields. And we switch again into our Groudon, and then they bring in their Dialga. So we're going to go straight into this Earthquake. No sense of baiting because we have our Melmetal in the back, and it can take care of the rest of the Pokemon that they have left. So we have the Dialga in a shield just in case we have to switch to reset our debuffs with the Superpower. But I think in this situation, with having one extra shield and them having a Dragon Tail user, we can get straight to the Superpower and just knock them out. We can win that match. So looking really, really good in that situation for us. And we're going to move on to the next battle. So that was a 4-1 right there. That was a pretty good set. Maybe could have been a possible 5-0, but I think that one battle, it was way too hard to come back from. So pretty happy about this 4-1. Like I said, the team has been giving me consistent positive wins, at least a 3-2, 4-1s. Possible situation of 5-0s I had a couple times, a couple nights ago when I was streaming. You're not going to actually see it here in this situation, but it's all good. Like I said, I think Master League Classic has been pretty fun this season. been avoiding it for the most part. For some reason, I probably had a little bit more anxiety about playing in the Master League, and at least with the new Pokemon that's been introduced into the game, at least the variety of Pokemon, the pool of Pokemon that you can use is a lot bigger, so it gives you a little bit of variety as opposed to what they used to have. And I'm not attempting to do open Master League because I don't have the XL candy for most Pokemon that I would like to use. So here we go in this situation. Groudon, we've been EQ'd. I was thinking that they were going to Fire Punch, but they went for the Hail Mary move, which is not looking good for us here. Didn't want to bring in our Groudon. I forgot what was our lead here. I didn't pay attention. Again, this situation, I didn't really want to throw, but I want to see if I can chip away and get some extra energy. So now they bring in their Melmetal. So I think I really forgot, didn't pay attention what was the first Pokemon, but I'm not switching to Groudon because I'm thinking we're probably weak to it. So I'm trying to bait here, and we actually get the first shield, which is great. And the mistake that I probably did here is that Rock Slide, because it's going to put us in a situation where we're not going to have enough energy. We're technically one Thundershock short. I think we made up to it right here. And then again in this situation, we don't have the shields, and they have a higher stat Melmetal, which probably is a 15 attack stat Melmetal for all I know. And then they have a Togekiss back here, so the reason why they were trying to knock out that Melmetal was because of the Togekiss. And there's not much we can do here. In this case, I want to play around with EQ to see how much damage it takes to Togekiss. And it's really best bet just to stick to the Fire Punches. So GG's there for that match. Really, really close. Not much I could have done there. Maybe if I could have shielded the Dialga from the Groudon, I had a lot more of a chance of winning there. But without a doubt, you know, we did what we could have done there. So here we go with the Mudshot Groudon. So in this situation, what I came to learn is that most Mudshot user Groudons go straight EQ. A couple situations they would actually go with the Fire Punch, but what comes to find out for this situation, at least from what I've learned, is that if we can shield our Earthquake in the beginning, they can definitely get to another Earthquake, but we can survive that Earthquake. And in this situation, as long as we build up to the Fire Punches and sneak in as much Dragon Tails as we can actually beat the Mudshot user Groudon, which is really, really great in a situation because we don't want to see that Groudon later with the Dialga and the Melmetal in the back. So now they bring in the Kyogre, which is actually really, really good. Our Dialga is in here. We're going to chip away again with Iron Head. They usually don't shield, and then they have a Mamoswine in the back. Again, perfect situation for our Melmetal in the back. And we're just going to go with Iron Head. We're going to get that last shield, and then I'm going to switch right into Melmetal here. This is going to be enough for a superpower to knock it out. If they throw the Bodos, that's fine because we can survive it. And then we throw the superpower here, and then we have some extra energy left for the Kyogre, and we can superpower it and just knock it out and win that match there. So Kyogre in the back is not too bad for this team. Mamoswine can be a little sweaty, at least in my mind, but knowing that we have those two steel users in the back at some decent health and energy, we can actually win that match and win right there. So again, as long as we can handle the ground users against the steel types in the back, we can win most situations as far as what I've at least come up against. So here we go again. I think is this the Mudshot user? I think that was the Mudshot user where they actually baited, and that was one of the few situations that we lost out on shields. But now we're going to regain this situation and our position of winning switch, because there's nothing that this Lugia can do to our Melmetal. So we don't have to technically shield. They can get to Aerial Blast and only to a Sky Attack. And we can just go straight Rock Slides. In this situation here, we can straight farm down, not have to worry about using the shield for the Sky Attack because we can survive. And then you can farm all the way down. We don't have to worry about their Groudon getting that much energy. And then I'm going to throw the superpower just to chip. They don't shield, and then I go right into our Groudon for the combo play with the Fire Punch. We want to start chipping away, and then they bring in the Dialga. So this is actually looking, again, pretty good for us. I'm going to go straight for the nuke. No sense of baiting in this situation. And they're going to probably farm all the way down. We can probably get to this Fire Punch, which they found out, and then we can just let go of this Groudon, and we can save all this energy for our Dialga and win this situation. So just to be safe, we shield here. It is a Draco, which is a good call on the shields. And then we have the Iron Head, and this is going to knock out the Groudon, and then we can win this match and move on to the next battle. So GG's there for that match. Groudon leads, and once I figured out that we can shield in the beginning with the EQs, we can typically win the match for Groudon and not have to worry about what's really in the back, because the counters that Groudon would need to handle the situation, our Dialga and our Melmetal can handle it pretty well. Especially with the flyers, our Melmetal can go pretty crazy. And then with our Dialgas, we can usually handle under the flying moves. We just have to be careful with Yvetal with the Fire Blast move. But besides that, we're pretty much in a good situation. So Togekiss could be a little bit of a pain, but again, as long as our Melmetal is alive, having energy, we can really win that match. So Ho-Oh lead. I kind of mix it up a bit. I think we can actually stay in with our Groudon, honestly, and go EQ and then Fire Punch to knock it out. In this situation, I wanted to see if they switch, but they don't. So they go with the Earthquake here. And what I do is I try to build up a little bit of extra energy and go straight Draco, because Iron Head is not going to be enough energy to knock it out. And I don't want them to get to another move. I'd rather get rid of the Ho-Oh and then move on to the next Pokemon. And then in this case, because we stored a little bit of extra energy, we can go to another Draco. We're going to get a shield here. And now we're looking pretty good in this situation as far as our Melmetal up against the Dialga. So throwing a Thunder or a Draco, it's not going to be hard for us. We're building up to 2 superpowers, and we're just going straight superpower, and then we can switch if we really need to. And they actually switch themselves, which is perfect. I'm just going to chip away here with the Rock Slides and then move right into our Groudon. We're still not up with our switch clock here, so I'm just going to keep spamming away with the Rock Slides. As long as I can get close to the 50% marker, we can do pretty good as far as Dragon Tailing it down. The only scary part is that they have a lot of energy, so in this situation here, I think I'm going to shield, which I do. It's an Ominous Wind, which is okay. And as you can see there, the Dragon Tails farm all the way down. And then we have a Fire Punch from our Groudon. And then we have Superpower stored against with our Melmetal. So we're looking really, really good in this situation. So, like I said, usually by the time Giratina Origin gets to a Shadow Ball, we can get to almost half health with their Tina. And we're just looking pretty good as far as farming it down afterwards if we end up shielding or not. So I try to preserve a shield for at least one of the main Pokemon if I try switching in. I really want to try to get one of their shields in the beginning, so it makes the switch a little bit easier for us if there's something that's hard countered to our Steel user in the back. So again, as you can see, Shadow Ball goes through. They're at 50% health. We switch into our Dialga just for the change here, and then bring in an Excadrill. So this team is kind of a common team where they usually pair Tina with an Excadrill. I go straight to the Draco, which I'm very surprised to let me get to that point, and then I just let go of our what's it called? Our Dialga there. There's no sense of trying to keeping it and just using shields, because they can out spam us with the drill runs. So in this situation, because we're just so close, we're going to shield, and we're going to start building up on energy again, because we can just go Fire Punch and try to actually just farm all the way down before they get to a move. But they get to a move here. I'm just going to let it go. I'm not sure if it's really the best situation, because I usually like to, like in this case, have something to clear the debuff for the Melmetal. So this is not actually looking really good for us. They get to the superpower first. I think they have a better attack stat. Again, wish I can have a 15 attack stat Melmetal, and they go right into their superpower here. And I was not thinking about, again, the CMP ties, so we lose out on that match. We actually, we get to 1 HP, but hey, we can't do nothing again with this Dialga in the back, and then we lose that match, and GG's here for that match. So if I probably would have saved maybe the Groudon shielding, knowing if they had a Melmetal in the back, we can win that match. But usually it's kind of an iffy situation with that team comp. I usually see Giratina Origin paired with an Excadrill, and it could be another Steel type like a Dialga or a Melmetal, or they can have a counter with Togekiss instead. And once in a while they may have a Flyer instead, so it's kind of like banking what Shimon and they may have in the back. But in that situation they have a Melmetal, and I didn't read the team comp just right, and we lost that match, which is, again, it's completely okay. We still ended up with a positive, and we're going to go with our last set here, and then we're going to finish this video and hopefully push to legend with this team afterwards, because it's looking pretty good as far as I know. So here we go. We have a flyer lead. A flyer. I don't know if I said fire. They switch into a Metagross here. So this team is looking a little spicy in my opinion. I don't usually see this kind of team comp. So I'm just building up so much energy here. I'm going to definitely shield the first one, knowing that it's just going to go straight EQ. I go with the Iron Head first, and then I go to a Draco, knowing this is going to force their last shield if they want to do it, and they don't. They let go of their Metagross there. And then with the Dialga now, facing up the Yvetal, they're going to go to a Dark Pulse, and we just barely survive, and we let go of this Iron Head, which is actually looking really good. And I immediately switch into a Groudon to see if I can preserve that Dialga for a sacrificial swap if I need to. And then they bring in a Mewtwo. So this is looking pretty good for us. We're chipping away, as you can see. They actually let us go to another Fire Punch, which are going to most likely shield here. And then we're going to most likely come in with our Melmetal and just go straight into the superpower and just win this match, knowing that Yvetal in the back is just not looking too good. This is most likely a side strike, but I just wanted to be safe in shields, because once in a while in the past they get those invincible moves, fast moves in there, and I just don't want to be surprised with the superpower. So in this situation, with their last mon, we can just farm all the way down. They're pretty much clear of their energy, throwing a Dark Pulse and a Focus Blast, so we don't have to worry about having a shield preserved for their last Pokemon. So pretty good match right there. Like I said, usually I like to try to keep all the Pokemon alive and maintain their energy and utilize each one of them for their moves and actually win there. So in that situation there, they had a 49 CP Dragonite. I think they're just trying to bank in their Stardust. So that was a freebie there for us, which is great. We don't usually get the freebies, which is okay. So once in a while, I don't mind it, especially in Master League Classic, like I said. It's been a lot of seasons where I haven't played Masters, so this has been a first time in a while just playing with this league, not really wanting to jump into Element Cup, because I think I would have to probably burn 250 to 300,000 Stardust to get the team I would really like to use, and I would rather save that investment for some Master League Pokemon. So here we go. With this match, we have an Excadrill, and then I forgot who switched in first, but we bring in our Melmetal up against this Lugia, which is looking really, really good. The idea that I want to do is have some energy stored so I can throw a move against this Excadrill when it comes back so we can get a shield out of them. In this situation, it's looking really good. I think, let's see here. The Rock Slide's just going to be enough. And then what they try to do is bring in their other flyer, thinking that we're going to go straight superpower. Luckily, with the health that we had left with our Melmetal, we can survive a Mud Shot or two, so it wasn't going to go straight into throwing a move. So I bring in our Dialga here just so they can bring in their Excadrill. They throw in the move, which is completely fine. I stored up some energy just in case, because we can pretty much chip away when shields are down. And then we bring in our Groudon here just to start spamming away with the Fire Punch, quote-unquote spam. Takes a couple Dragon Tails to knock it out, or to charge it up to a Fire Punch, but you can see how the Dragon Tails are chipping away quite a bit, and the Fire Punches are still forcing shields, and they end up not shielding their Excadrill, and then they bring in the Yvetal, and then what we can just do here is shield and just farm down. No sense of throwing the move. We don't want them to sneak in any extra snarls if they have to, and we can win that match, and that's a GG's there with that match. So things are looking pretty good. 3 I forgot what was it, 3-1 I think right now. So moving into the next battle, Dialga has the lead. It's just not bad at all. I don't usually go to an EQ in this situation because as you can see right now, the Dragon Tails are building up. No matter what, we always expend a shield, and we go into our next Pokemon when they switch into a Giratina. So this is looking pretty good for us too, just to start chipping away rather easily. We can go with our Dialga here. I wanted to see if they can chip it down a little bit more. Let's see. They let go of their Giratina because they want to farm down with their own Dialga, which is completely fine. We're down a shield, but we still have energy on our Groudon, which is looking pretty good. And we're going to throw this Fire Punch here. This is going to force in the shield if we want to keep this Giratina. or it's Dialga, sorry. Then they have a Kyogre in the back. So again, this is actually pretty stressful knowing that they have 2 shields in the situation. And I feel like maybe the Melmetal was the better shield to use. So I'm going to go with the Rock Slide first. I'm not sure this is the best situation. Let's just see how this plays out again. I forgot how it ends. But I'm chipping away with the Rock Slides. And then I think I'm going to go to a Superpower here. Yep. Just so we can knock out our Melmetal. They do shield, which is great. Oh, yeah, this is the match. Okay, so they brought in their Dialga for the Fire Punch bait. So if we ended up not throwing the move there, we could have farmed down from the Dialga with that 1 punch, and we could have beaten this match pretty easily. But it was pretty of a sneaky, dirty move there from their opponent, just to throw in their Dialga to catch that swap. And that was a really, really good play on them for them to get the win there. And we're going to move on to the next battle here. So we're seeing a Palkia here with the Dragon Tail. So I was thinking about catching here, but I forgot the counts for the Aqua Tail. I know the Aqua Tails are... they can get to the Aqua Tail really quick. Just a chip away here. Just went with a Fire Punch and then a switch into the Melmetal just to catch the Aqua Tail, not wanting to shield twice and lose out in that situation. So now they have a Dialga here, which is actually very interesting. What they wanted to do is catch a Superpower onto their Lugia, which we were smartly to shield there, or smartly not to throw the move there, and then we went to the Rock Slides here. Again, we don't have to shield, I think. We can just keep chipping away as much as we can. And this is actually looking pretty good for us, having a healthy Dialga in the back. And what I did here, which I don't know if it's really the smart play or not, but I went in to catch the Sky Attack against the Lugia, and then I'm going to chip away with the Fire Punch here. They don't shield knowing it's a Fire Punch, which is completely fine. Our main plan that we want to have here is to have them expend their shields and to keep knocking away their health on the Dialga, so it's going to make it look a little bit easier for us. I think in this situation they knew they're going to lose, so they just let it go, and then we actually win that match. So I think in this situation we actually could have gone a 5-0. Just because of that switch that the opponent did from that one match, which is very good. Still commend them for that battle. Was not expecting it in my mind for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we just barely hit Expert. It was 2751 if I recall. We're just gonna get the quick catch here. We're almost done. But again, you know, this team has been really, really fun without a doubt. Like I said, I really wanted Ho-Oh to win. I think maybe I may showcase a video for it. But in this situation, I think the Dragon Tail damage is just stacking up really, really well. And I've been preferring it a lot more than the Incinerate damage from Ho-Oh itself. So again, thanks guys for watching. Like I said, this team is really, really fun to use. As long as you can kind of work out with some of the leads that may not work for Groudon and take it on with some of the steel types that we have in the back, the game can pretty much be smooth sailing afterwards. So like I said, give it a try if you can. Really recommend the 15 attack stack on Melmetal because we had those situations where we kind of choke out in those particular situations that we just don't like. But hey, can't win every battle, but this team is really fun. And again guys, thanks for watching and see you guys until the next battle. Cheers.